why do we need a good enough guide to humanitarian needs assessment? I think the key to the significance of this document is the audience that it's intended for. Disasters happen all the time, and if you're poor, a disaster doesn't have to be very big to have a significant impact on your life. And most often, the only organisations working in the areas where disasters take place are local ones. So these organisations are trying their best to get the word out about disaster events that are taking place. But usually, they haven't had any formal training in needs assessments, and until now, there hasn't been any guidance designed specifically to help them. So, embankments are breached, threatening houses and fields, or storms take place and wash away all the fishing boats and equipment, or tornadoes unroof houses, and organisations are writing reports on this, but often their reports are missing key features like methodology or baselines or background information. And what that means is that usually these reports are not good enough to get the attention required to generate a response to these events. But the willingness is there from those organisations, and if those organisations had the support that was needed to do assessments that were more robust, that were good enough, that were thorough enough, that were informative enough, then those assessment reports would generate the attention that was required to leverage the relatively modest resources that are needed to rebuild houses before the next rainy season, to keep children in school so that they don't have to go out to look for work, to stop families taking out high interest loans, to enable them to buy the food that they need for their livestock so they don't have to sell them, to stop people having to migrate out of their towns and villages in search of work, and ultimately to get their lives back on track as quickly as possible. And that's why this Good Enough Guide was produced, and that's why we need to take the next step and get it out there.